guys and welcome back to my channel. Like, dislike, comment for the engagement, subscribe, trying to get to 200k, and subscribe to the podcast channel, trying to get to 10k over there. Today's video is we're going to look at the AntiWork subreddit, because I, for one, love this new movement of people telling their bosses to suck it. Do you know how many bosses I'd have loved to have said, fuck this, I'm not paid enough for this? Most of them. My boss exploded. After the third person quit in a span of 2 weeks due to overwork and short-staffed issues, he slammed his office door and told us to gather around. He went in the most boomerific rant possible. I can only paraphrase. Well, Mike is out, great. Just goes to show that nobody wants to actually get off their ass and work these days. Life isn't easy, and people like him need to understand that. He wanted weekends off knowing damn well we are understaffed. He claimed it was family issues or whatever. I don't believe the guy. Just hire a sitter. Thanks for everything y'all do. You guys are the only hope for this generation. We all looked around and another guy quit 2 hours later. Why do shouty, angry bosses never realise that they're probably contributing to the problem of people wanting to quit? It's never their fault though, is it? Apparently, right, this book, Utopia for Realists, it's not true that if given the opportunity, people wouldn't work. A lot of people like to work, but they like to know that their contribution is valuable and is worth something. Sure, you're always going to get outliers. You're always going to get people who don't want to work, but it's highlighted in this book that this just isn't the case. They did a study in some towns where they gave them a universal basic income, and people, the majority of people, put the money back into the economy, started up businesses, or used it to go on to university or do some courses in getting business certificates and business degrees, etc. People put it back into the economy. Just say. Good book. Just saying. People just want to feel appreciated. Is it that hard? I made my boss over $1.5 million in commission over 2 years, while I made $45k a year. For Christmas, he got me a $25 gift card to a movie theatre chain that I would have to drive to another state to even use. When I put in my 2-week notice, he called legal on me while I sat in his office. I worked my ass off for this man, essentially running his entire book of business for him. For Christmas, he got me a $25 AMC gift card. The closest AMC theatre is 1.5 hours away in another state. That pissed me off and made me start looking for other jobs. I genuinely cared about my job and the account, so I waited to accept a job offer until I had trained someone else to do my job. When the time came, I met him in his office and told him that I'd accepted another job and that I was putting my notice in, but not to worry because I have someone already trained. When I told him that I'd accepted a position with another company in our field, but would not be doing the same thing so it wouldn't violate my non-compete, he called our chief legal officer on the speakerphone while I sat there. The CLO tells me that I cannot even mop floors at a company in our field for at least a year. The CLO adds HR to the call, and HR tells me that since I won't be pursuing my new job, they are going to let me work 2 more weeks to make sure the handoff goes smoothly, and then I'll be fired for looking at other jobs. This is why people don't want to work for companies. Most companies would sell your organs if it made them a quick buck. They asked me for more details as to what I would be doing in my new job, and I told them I wasn't going to discuss it. After I left, the CLO of this company, a company who brings in $6 billion a year in revenue, called me randomly for the next few weeks trying to intimidate me. What? They even started contacting my new employer. Luckily, I don't work for a shitty company now, and the CEO got involved and told them they'll be ready to fight this in court. It's just harassment. Don't you think non-compete clauses are usually such bullshit as well in jobs? Well, if we can't have you, nobody else can. Maybe work on making your salaries more competitive, your environments better, so people won't want to go to competing companies. I've been getting paid $80k a year for the last 5 years, doing absolutely no work, and I don't plan on changing a thing. Throwaway. I'm an account manager for a telecom company that provides VoIP. Sorry, Americans. What is with Americans' love of acronyms? What's a VoIP? Why are they an acronym? Absolutely everything. I feel like America has its own language at times. They probably think the same here, don't they? I mean, the words, should we do a cheeky Nando's or curry club at Weatherspoons, Archbishop of Banbury, probably means nothing to them as well. VoIP, phones to companies. There are about 20 of us and our job is primarily to answer any questions about the phones, the service, billing, etc. We have hundreds of clients. What the boss does is assign clients to each of us based on a rating of how challenging and difficult they believe the end users are. Each client gets a score of 1 to 10, 1 meaning these employees at Microsoft who are all very techie and will never have to call us, asking where they should plug in the Ethernet port, And 10 because the client is an old age home and we will get 5 calls a day from each resident asking how to get a dial tone. So one account manager may be assigned a client who has 5,000 employees, but they are rated a 1. So it provides them just enough work for 40 hours a week. While another account manager may get a client who has only 100 employees, but they are all tech idiots and call in constantly. Well, when I started, I got assigned a client with a few hundred employees who were rated a 10, so their algorithm predicted that it would just be the right amount of work to keep me busy. As it turns out, the client is a highly skilled tech company that actually writes the software for the phones we support, and their rating should have been a 1, not a 10. I get 1 to 2 calls a week and literally nothing else. When it first was clear that they messed up the rating system, I was a good little employee and notified my manager that they may not have allocated the proper amount of work. I was told that their rating system is near perfect and I should not stir the pot. So I have not stirred the pot for 5 years. Very similar, right? A lot of these stories of there was an issue with the system and then the person tries to flag it with the manager and the manager always dismisses them. So they're like, what? Malicious compliance, that's it. My last call for support was 9 days ago and I literally browse the web all day and attend the occasional meeting. I get my 5% annual raise and full benefits. I'll continue until I get caught or something better comes along. Oh, I am work from home full time. Christ, don't just browse the internet all day. Do some courses, write something. I read an article the other day about this person who has a website and they write really boring articles. Well, on topics they find boring. So, how does this battery work? Whatever. Questions that you would put into Google. I'm always putting what fruit has the most potassium? This kind of questions that I'd ask. Take those questions, write articles on it, and you'll get income of a couple grand a month. That's what this person was making. Do that whilst you're doing your job. Manager steals tips, 1 upvote, and he gets my 2 weeks today. I'm going to quit tonight, not even finish my shift. He's getting my keys and uniform and I'm gone. Thanks for the words, yada yada. I've been working since I was 14 under incredibly shitty bosses, so I never realised how illegal his actions were. I recently started work at a pizza place in Washington State. I should have known my interview was a red flag when the entire time my manager talks about his medical issues. Here's our interview. Let's talk about me for 10 minutes. Ooh, that sounds like the perfect job for me, doesn't it? A delivery driver ended up quitting a few weeks after I started because of the verbal degradation our manager was giving him. This boy went to college but is too fucking dumb to remember what's garlic butter type stuff. Well, most garlic butter probably ain't even butter. It's probably just garlic oil, isn't it? Solidified. What? He verbally insults everyone that walks into the shop to or behind their face. How does he have business? I should have left then, but I stayed. I made 30 cents more than minimum wage for being a TL, which he took away January 1st. I don't know what a TL is. And I thought everything was okay, until it was me and him working one night and we made over 1K in food. I received $105 worth of tips that night and my manager gave me $45, which made me really mad since he was told not to take tips by his boss. My final straw was last night. From 11 AM till 9 PM, we made $34 in tips in total. At 7 PM, when my manager left, we had made $24 in tips, and he decided to take $30 out the till, leaving me with a $2 tip at 9 PM. He stole money from the store. He continues to take tips when he didn't do any work. The entire crew is quitting because of how shitty he treats us. Yeah, maybe don't steal tips from people who are working minimum wage. In America, of all places too. I mean, don't steal tips anyway, but you know what I mean. My best friend just got this email. Dear team, I'm sorry to inform those that haven't heard already that our dear friend and co-worker, blank, has recently passed away. To mourn the death of someone so dedicated is only natural. If you need a moment to grieve, yes, I'm going to mourn the death of a person because they were so dedicated to their work, not because I'm going to miss them as an actual human being beyond the 8 hours a day they clock in somewhere. What are you fucking talking? How are people so delusional? If you need a moment to grieve, please feel free to clock out and spend some time in the break room. While it may sound insensitive, it is important that we don't let our productivity slide, as I think it's fair to say blank wouldn't have wanted that. It's a bold move to speak for the dead. Let's see if it pays off for him. Also, please do not clock out while the store is busy, as this will add undue stress onto the team. If there are any issues with this, please contact me directly and do not discuss these issues with co-workers as it may cause undue stress. No, don't discuss the issues with co-workers because it might make you, I don't know, unionize or all quit or something. Discussing this may result in immediate dismissal. How insecure are these people? Unable are the loved to die, for love is immortality. Christ, it's like in The Simpsons when Mr. Burns has that sign in Homer's office that's like, remember you're here forever or something like that. Jesus. Remember everyone, put it in your will that you don't mind if your co-workers all take a few days off in the untimely event of your death. Ridiculous. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.